What's going on, everyone? This is ODC, that's me, and I'm back with another action figure review, and this is a review I've been looking forward to for a long time, since the line was actually announced. This is my first DC Comics Icons action figure review. This is Deadman. This was the first figure I happened to pick up. I do have Batman on order. I think I'm actually going to pick up the whole wave, which is Batman, Green Arrow, Mr. Miracle, and Deadman here. But the packaging looks really good, kind of similar to your regular, what we're pretty much used to, like the Capullo line, similar to that, but it does come with the, it does say DC Comics, and it says Icons on the bottom, and it is made by DC Collectibles. It says Icon, and then actually where it says in the Icons, there's a individual, which is really nice, a individual, like a Deadman logo right there. And I'm assuming Batman will have his own logo, Superman, and so on. But this is figure 2 in the wave. Switching around to the side, he says number 2. Really like the, it actually even tells you what Deadman this is from. This is from Brightest Day, and this is actually a huge run with Deadman in that. If you have not read Brightest Day, you probably should. But here's the other figures in the wave, which I explained already. I really like the back of the packaging. It looks really good. Shows you all the figures in the wave. Not much of a read-up. It would be nice if maybe they included a little bit of a read-up, since this is going to be a line that kind of grabs different looks for each character throughout all of their time. You know what I mean? Basically. But let's not waste any more time. Oh, one more thing. There's a Deadman logo on the top and nothing on the bottom. There's some onion babies, though. There you go. So there's that. Let's get Deadman out of packaging, and we'll be right back. Okay, and we're back with Deadman out of packaging, and I gotta say he looks really good. There's a couple things that I think that they have time to improve on. A lot of people are very excited for this line, and I feel like maybe some of you might be let down, especially with the recent pictures and stuff like that about their size. Now, they are around 6 inches tall, which I will clarify right now. Here is a tape measure. So they are around 6 inches tall. Actually, no. Yeah, they're a little bit, they're about just under 6 inches tall. So they are a little bit smaller than what you're used to, and I'll just, for a reference, I'll use a Marvel Legend here. So they're smaller than your typical Marvel Legend here that's on the Superior Spider-Man body. Here's a regular DC Collectibles figure, and I'll get one more. Here is a, you know what? Here is a Star Wars figure, and I'd say they're pretty much almost on par with Star Wars. So I'd say they're probably almost right on par with Star Wars as far as scale wise. They do run a little bit smaller, but and there are some other things that I would improve on. But I'm pretty excited for the line in general. I think it's going to look good. And here, I'll just, for one more, bring in. There's Bucky Cat body mold. So he's pretty much, I would say he's a little bit taller than the Star Wars figures, but kind of, he's in between the Star Wars figures and the Marvel Legends. So, and he's obviously going to be way shorter than a DC UC. DC UCs run pretty tall, though. Just for a reference, I'll bring in first appearance Batman, and I mean, your DC UCs ran pretty tall. Look how tall they are compared to a Marvel Legend. Just a little bit shorter than a DC Collectible was a DC UC. So they ran pretty tall. I believe DC UCs ran just over 6 inches tall. So, and then DC UC is almost, I'd say they're closer to 7, maybe on the verge of being 7. Now about almost 6.5 inches tall. So these are all within the realm of being 6 inches. I don't have a problem with it. A lot of people do, but me personally, I'm not gonna have a problem. This is a new line. It's meant to be its own scale, so I'm not gonna bitch and moan about you know, oh, it doesn't fit in with this or that. Oh, it's not supposed to. It's supposed to be its own line. So, no one complained when Star Wars was its own size. So, I'm not going to complain with this either. I think it looks really good. Now, there are some improvements that I would do, and it has nothing to do with the scale. I would say that probably a thigh swivel is definitely needed here, and he does not have it. That would probably be my biggest pet peeve with this. That and the I wish the legs didn't have to go kind of cock out to the side here when he's. I don't like that at all. So maybe in the future we'll get a little bit of an improvement on the sculpting here on the crotch piece, so we don't have to deal with this. And we definitely need a thigh swivel here. I don't know why we don't have a thigh swivel, but I'd say sculpt wise, this guy's beautifully done. He's really good. And you can't. I don't even think my lighting is doing him justice. How great this head sculpt is. I can't. And even the chest, how the ripples and his muscles and everything, it looks really great. I really like it. And it's kind of like a matte finish over here on his chest. And then there's kind of like a gloss for his gloves to give him that different type of look. So I really dig that too. And then you have your regular, this high up collar that Deadman always has. And there's also a gloss for his boots as well to kind of differentiate between the reds. So I think it's a really nice touch. And like I said, a lot of people are probably going to have a problem with this line because of scale. But don't focus just on scale. Focus on the figure. If it's a bad figure, then by all means, it's a bad figure. But don't say these figures suck because they're out of scale, because that's just ridiculous. But as far as his articulation goes, his head does swivel side to side. And it can look up about that far. I'm trying to see if it's on a hinge joint. No, it's on a ball peg. So he can look up about that far, which is a little bit past eye level. And then he can tilt side to side. And he can look down nicely, though. So there's that. His arms go up about that far, and they do go down. Full 360 rotation. Bicep swivel. Double jointed elbows. He does have a wrist swivel and a wrist hinge. There you go. He does have a lower ab crunch. Now, this is another thing that I think they should improve on. They should just give us a waist swivel and then give us an ab crunch, kind of very similar to Marvel Legends. I think that would make a lot more sense in this diaphragm joint up here, and then having an ab crunch down here, which doesn't really get the best range of motion, because the lower the ab crunch, the tougher it is to get a good range of motion out of that. So there's a couple things that they need to improve on, but this being a brand new line, I feel like there's room for improvement. Like I said, the legs go forward about that far, and they do go out in the splits nicely. Sorry, blocking everything. Shitty lighting. But they do go out that far, and like I said, I'll show you again. They go forward. They do go back a little bit, sort of out as opposed to back. Double bend at the knee. He does have a ankle hinge and the ankle pivot, which we all love, and 2 peg holes at the bottom of his feet. No display base, but these do come with really good accessories, and he comes with his own special accessory. Well, I'll get to that in a second. He does come with a second pair of hands, kind of like a gripping hand for each. So there's that. But this piece right here, it's kind of when he possesses someone else's body, which he likes to possess Batman's body a lot. I wish I had another icon here to show you. But he kind of just slips over, and I'll just use, sorry, Spider-Man. It kind of just slips over the head like that. Obviously, it's going to fit the icons better. This is the only icon I have at the moment, but it's supposed to just fit kind of right over his head like so. I'll have to use this on, if I get another one, try to use it on a DCUC. That's probably not going to work, but it's supposed to go just like that. And it's a kind of a translucent, rubbery material. It does have a sculpted D in there also, and it's kind of got his collar. I think it looks pretty cool. It's a nice little touch, and we're going to get more and more of these accessories with these figures, which I think is a really nice touch. And this is, like I said, this is the Deadman that's featured in Brightest Day. So this is his look for that that story run. And his hands do just plug right in, like so. I might actually have him prefer him in these gripping hands. Like that. So I think he looks really cool. I love the sculpt on this figure. This figure really does have the feel of a Marvel Legend, though. He feels a little bit lighter, similar to what a Marvel Legend feels like. They both feel around almost the same weight. Maybe he's got a little bit more weight because he's a little bit taller, a little bit more plastic on him. But I think he looks good. He's got a good feel to him. The D is actually sculpted in, which is nice. Which you hardly ever see on a 6-inch figure anymore, is any sculpting. But I think he looks really great. And I'm really happy to have this. Deadman's another one of my favorite characters. He's really cool. So I'm going to pause this really quick, and I'm going to go get the DC Universe Classics Deadman out of the pile of figures I have over here. I'm going to attempt to not knock everything over, too. Okay, and we're back. It's a Deadman party. But you can't tell me that even though this figure is way out of scale with this figure, that this isn't the better sculpt. Hands down, it's the better sculpt. There isn't a weird gapping issue here on the collar. The collar is actually kind of too big for this figure, to be honest with you. It's kind of a pain in the ass to kind of put him in a display because then he blocks everyone else behind him. But I'd say I still like this figure. I like both figures. The tough part is that if I have to choose one, thing is that he's got better articulation, but he's also missing pieces of articulation as well. Like, he's got double jointed elbows. He only has single jointed elbows. He's got double jointed knees. He's only got single jointed knees. He's got better articulation, I would say. No, he's probably got better articulation overall, because he's missing out on a lot. I'd say he probably has he doesn't really have that much of a. Let's see here. I'm trying to do as much of a comparison as possible with DC Universe Classics so you guys get it. They both crunch forward about the same range. So, and let's check backwards. I'd say the Icons is a little bit further back. So, you're getting better range there. Obviously, the waist swivel is going to be better than his diaphragm joint here. But, I don't know. I think I like the Icons better. If I have to choose one. Even though what really bothers me about him is that thigh swivel not being there. I think I like this guy better. I think I do. That's very interesting. This also has a better feel to him. He's got more sculpting. I dig the face sculpt a lot better. The face sculpt looks 10 times better than the Mattel one. Granted, the Mattel one is kind of a dark, like a light gray, and this is kind of like a white, which I think is actually better for his character than a gray, because he's really a ghost. He's not actually, a zombie or anything like that. But yeah, I think I prefer, if I have to choose one, I prefer the Icons over the DC Universe Classics. So, but that's just me. That's my opinion. I'm sure everyone else has their own. I like the accessories that he comes with. They look really cool. I like the extra hands. Well, the accessory, I should say. And I really like this figure. I'm really excited for this line, and I hope you all are too. So, with that being said, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thank you for watching as always, and if you want another comparison, I will post it on my Facebook, but I'll post a bunch of comparisons with this guy. But can't wait for Batman and the rest of the figures in the wave. I'm definitely going to pick up wave 1. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thanks for watching as always. Love you guys, and I'll see you guys on the flip side.